right, we are live here at Appalachian Power Park for the first ever Carter Tournament State Championship game between the home team, Charleston Crush, and the visiting team, West Virginia Wild. As Jordan Mosley leads off for the Wild, grounds out as Brogan throws out on the 6-3.
Maybe. There we go. Number 14,
for one out here in the top of the first inning. I haven't had a chance to get all the lineup for the Wild. I will be getting that here shortly, as we've got one out now. Here in the top of the first, here's the pitch. And on the mound for the Crush today is number 1, Trace Atkins. All right, that's chopped. That is a foul ball. So now we got 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. If you will give me a minute here. Garrett Comer for the Wild. I'm writing this down on my pad. He grounds out to second, and on the 4-3, we have 2 outs. There is 2 outs on the board. I'm going to fill out this paperwork. We got a little busy.
The first baseman, number 32, Hayden Madison.
Now number 32 comes up, Hayden Madison, for the Wild with 2 outs. I will fix the scoreboard here in a minute. I will be muting in between innings. When the music comes on, I'll mute. You will not hear anything, but I will be back once we start that inning, as Madison gets a 2-out single to put a runner at first for the Wild. Let's give me a few minutes here. This will
third baseman, number
get
13,
better.
Corey Sweeney.
Coming up for the Wild, number 13, Corey Sweeney. As we've got 2 outs here in the top of the first. All right, I'll get through this inning right here with this. We get the outs, strikes fixed. We are good to go. Says 0-1 on the board with 2 outs on Corey Sweeney. And the pitch from Atkins. There's the ball to jerk, making it 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Sweeney. Here comes the pitch from Atkins. That's a fly ball deep to center and caught for the 3rd out. So we got a half of inning in the books here at Appalachian Power Park in the first ever Carter Tournament State Championship. No score, 1 hit in the inning. And we'll be right back here to start the bottom of the first. I will be muting because of the music. Thank you. We are live to begin the bottom of the first inning here with no score at Appalachian Power Park in the first ever Carter Tournament State Championship game. And on the mound for the Wild is number 00, Evan Bell. Leading off for the Charleston Crush is number 9, Isaiah Ramsey. So the Wild gets one hit in the top of the first inning, but no runs. As the pitch comes in from Bell, making it 2-0. Sorry about that. As we are in the bottom of the first inning, here's the 2-0 pitch from Bell. Line drive up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Isaiah Ramsey as the leadoff runner for the Crush gets on. So Ramsey gets on with a single.
Number 1, Trace Atkins.
That brings up the pitcher, number 1, Trace Atkins. So we got a runner at first here in the bottom of the first inning. And that's fouled back, making it 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Bell. That's low in the dirt, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Excuse me, sorry. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Trace Atkins with the runner at first and no outs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Bell to Atkins. Catcher thought about throwing down to first, but didn't. Ball's a little high, making it 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs here in the bottom of the first inning, no score in the first ever Carter Tournament's state championship game. The 2-1 popped back out of play, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch. The runner goes. Ground ball toward second. And that was in a hard position to get in there.
The shortstop, number 6.
Now the second baseman couldn't make the play, so they are going to rule that a hit. So runners at first and second for the Crush with no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. So Crush has a runner in scoring position. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit because we can't see the second baseman. Yeah, that's a little better. That's going to bring up number 6, Eli Brogan, the shortstop for the Charleston Crush. As the Wild, Evan Bell throws in for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike, no outs, 2 hits to lead off this bottom of the first inning for the Charleston Crush. They got runners at first and second. And no outs with Brogan at the plate. Here comes the 0-1 to Brogan. He swings and misses, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes on Eli Brogan. As the wind starts to pick up here a little bit in the park, there's a pop-up that's coming right at me. Let's see if it hits me. No, it does not. Still 0-2. Excuse me. Wind's picked up a little bit. It's got a little bit of the pollen in the air. It's kind of messing with me a little bit, but I'll persevere. So Brogan's got an 0-2 count on him here in the bottom of the first inning with runners at first and second. Here's the pitch from Bell. That's in the dirt, gets out of the catcher's hands, and into the dugout it goes, and the runners will advance 1 base. So right now we got runners at second and third Second and third on a 1-2 count on Brogan. So second and third for the Charleston Crush with no outs. So 2 runners in scoring position, with Brogan looking at a 1-2 count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Bell. Popped out of play, stays alive, still 1-2.
Bats and balls can be dangerous, so please be alert at all times. If you find a foul ball, bring it down to the dugout.
I apologize for the breeze blowing here. It's picked up a little bit. Might shake the camera a little bit, hopefully not too much, as we get ready to look at a 1-2 pitch to Brogan. High, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, runners at second and third here in the bottom of the first inning in the state championship game for Carter tournaments. Winners get state championship rings and a state championship plaque, as that ball misses just a little bit outside, making it a full count, 3-2. As I said, they get a beautiful state championship plaque. So does the runner-up, as we are no better place to do a state championship tournament than Appalachian Power Park. And there's a line drive out into the outfield. Brogan's going to get a hit. That's going to score 2 as the Charleston Crush takes a 2-0 lead. Here in the bottom of the first inning on the 3rd hit of the inning by the Crush,
Number 14,
as Eli Brogan
Hamrick.
hits a 2 RBI. A 2 RBI single to get the Crush on the board, 2-0. That brings up Isaac Hamrick, who hit a grand slam in the last game. He hit it. I'll show you right where he hit it. Do you see the West Virginia Public Broadcasting, the Huntington welcome sign? He hit it right in that area right there. It actually went out of the park over the black fence. So the count is 0-1 on Hamrick, with a runner at first. Ball high, making it 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, no outs. The Charleston Crush starting off with 3 straight singles. Eli Brogan is at first for the Crush. Here's the 1-1 pitches. No, he throws over. Close, but no cigar. As Brogan is safe at first. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That hits right down inside, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Charleston Crush is able to take a early 2-0 lead in the Carter Tournament State Championship game here at Appalachian Power Park. That ball gets in the dirt. Brogan's going to second. There is going to be a play. No, he holds on to it. I thought he was going with it. But on the ball on the dirt, Brogan goes to second, and the count goes to 2-2 on Hamrick. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the first in a 2-0 game here for the Charleston Crush. As Evan Bell looks over at Brogan at second. Here's the 2-2. There's a line drive shot. That is fair. That did hit the corner. As here comes the throw. That's going to be a RBI double. I tried to get some action there in the corner. Couldn't really get to it. But Isaac Hamrick hits a grand slam last game. This game he hits an RBI double, which puts the Crush up 3-0, and a runner at second base. As the wind really starts to pick up here a little bit at the park on a beautiful day here to play baseball. There's a fly ball to right field, and Curry will catch it for the first out as Hamrick advances to third. So we have one out here in the bottom of the first as Hamrick moves to third.
Now batting, number 8, Joe Lively.
And that was Noah Boggs who flied out to right field. Next we'll bring up Joe Lively, the extended hitter. Here's the pitch from Bell. That's high, ball 1. Hope I don't have any technical issues here. 2 balls, 1 strike. We have 1 out. Says I'm still live. I'm going to have to go check something real quick here. Technology, you gotta love it. I'm still showing
The
live.
second baseman, number 11, Hagen Summers.
As we get a strikeout there, and I think we get the second out. Nope, they walked him. I'm sorry. I had to mess with my channel here, as YouTube tries to mess with me every now and a little bit. As we get a mound visit here, I'm going to mute and take a look and make sure everything's okay with this YouTube feed. We're in the bottom of the first inning, 3-0, and you got runners at first and third for the Crush. Everything seems to be working fine. I'll be back as soon as the new pitcher gets warmed up and the music turns off, because they will kick us off with the music. The West Virginia Wild is bringing in Gabe Cart to pitch, and we'll be right back here in a few seconds. All right, we're back. We got number 11, Hagen Summers, coming up for the Charleston Crush. There's the pitch as he attempts to bunt. But bunts it foul, making it 0-1. give you a little bit of a recap here. The Crush start off with 3 straight singles, then a double by Hamrick. And through that, they get 3 runs on the board. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cart. He throws over to first. Ball gets away, but not far enough for the runner to advance. But it's 3-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Charleston Crush is on top in the first ever Carter Tournament's state championship game. Here comes the 0-1 to Summers. Runner goes, and he is out. He is threw out at second base on the throw out by the catcher, Braden Gall. As he threw that ball right on a dime. And that is the second out in the inning. And the pitch was called a ball, so making it 1-1 on Summers. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He swings and misses. Excuse me, he must have 2 strikes. I apologize. They had the board wrong. But either way, we have 1 inning in the books here at Appalachian Power Park in the state championship here. We are heading to the top of the second. Charleston Crush done some damage in the first, making it 3-0. All right, we were back to begin the second inning. Kevin Curry up for the West Virginia Wild. That's the Charleston Crush take a 3-0 lead after the first inning. As Curry grounds out to third, the throw over from third is in time, and we have 1 out on the board. So 1 out on the board here at Appalachian Power Park in the top of the second inning. And that's going to bring up Jeffrey Jazuski. I hope I said that right. Playing center field for the West Virginia Wild. On the mound for the Charleston Crush is number 1, Trace Atkins. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. There's a little blooper that looks like it's going to... No, nice play by Eli Brogan, as he absolutely robs a base hit on that one. So Jazuski.
Not batting. Catcher, number 2.
Jazuski is out. Bringing up the second out in the inning. That's going to bring up Braden Gall for the West Virginia Wild here in the top of the second inning. There's a pitch. It's in there for strike one, making it 0-1. So we got no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the second inning in a 3-0 ball game. Here's the pitch from Atkins. And that hits the outside corner for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. Here in the top of the second inning. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be chopped foul, keeping it 0-2. On a beautiful evening here in Charleston, West Virginia at Appalachian Power Park. It is absolutely gorgeous here. You got some time, if you're in the area, stop by, come watch some baseball. As the pitch gets back and away from the catcher, making it 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's been a very good tournament. One thing about these tournaments I like, I get to meet a lot of people, a lot of good people. And a lot of people that we have are from West Virginia. And we get a chance to meet him as he fouls that off, staying 1-2. Just get to meet a lot of good people in the area. That's one reason I like doing these tournaments, is just to give these kids a chance to play at probably one of the best parks, if not the best park in the state of West Virginia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from Atkins. That just misses, 2-2. As they appeal on the swing, and the base coach says no, he didn't go. So deuces are wild. Here's the 2-2-2. Low, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the batter, Braden Gall. The full count pitch. That's going to be popped up. Might be a tough play, but no, the center fielder comes and gets the final out of the top of the second inning. That was Ryan Beasley who come in to get that catch. All right, guys, we got 1.5 in the books here at Appalachian Power Park. Scored 3-0. We're going to the bottom of the second. And we'll be right back here in a minute. All right, we are back. We are live to begin the bottom of the second inning here at Appalachian Power Park. And the first pitch is in the dirt, making it 1-0. We are in the bottom of the second. The Charleston Crush on top of the West Virginia Wild 3-0 in the first ever Carter Tournament's state championship game. As we get a swing and a miss, making it 1-1. On the mound now for the Wild is number 35, Gabe Cart. And up to bat for the Charleston Crush is number 10, Eli Stowers. So 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. As Cart is on the mound, ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. As that one gets in the dirt, making it 2-2. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Eli Stowers up for the Charleston Crush. Here comes the pitch from Cart. He swings and misses. And that will be another strikeout for Cart. And we got 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Let's go to bring up Drew McLeod.
Now that
Charleston
the catcher,
Crush.
number 4, Drew McLeod.
The catcher, number 4, Drew McLeod for the Charleston Crush, coming up on a beautiful evening here in Charleston, West Virginia. It's just absolutely gorgeous tonight. Feels great. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. As Cart seems to be finding some rhythm as his ball is really getting some velocity put on it. So no balls, 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming from Cart. That's in the dirt. 1-1. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. In the state championship game, the winner gets a state championship plaque and championship rings. Here's the pitch. That's a little bit outside, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Drew McLeod. The runner-up gets another beautiful Oak State runner-up plaque, as we plan on making this an annual event every summer here at Appalachian Power Park to decide who is the state champion for Carter tournaments. Here's the 2-1, and that is hit deep in the hole. It's short. Here's the throw, and it is not in time, and that will be ruled a single for Drew McLeod. So the Crush gets a runner on at first.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 24.
As I apologize.
Austin.
My camera working skills is not that great.
Austin Atkins.
We'll try to do the best we can. Now up for the Charleston Crush, number 24, is Austin Atkins, the third baseman. Coming into courtesy run is the last out, number 10, Eli Stowers for the catcher. As Atkins is up to bat, and he swings at strike 1, so no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first base for the Charleston Crush as we are in the bottom of the second inning. As that ball is a little bit inside, he does call a strike. It's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Austin Atkins. Here comes the 0-2 pitch with the runner at first. And he chops it toward the pitcher. That's going to be a hard play, and he will be safe. So you could almost rule that an E1.
Now batting,
We'll see what they put up on the board.
Ryan Beasley.
As Beasley comes up with a runner in scoring position, and altogether the Crush has got a runners at first and second with 1 out. And they did not rule that an error on the board, so that is a hit. Three to nothing Crush, and they're threatening again with runners at first and second. Here's the pitch, and he lays down a beautiful bunt going down the first base line, and he is tagged out Or is he safe? He is safe.
Now batting.
So on the bunt,
center fielder number
he
9,
misses with the
Isaiah
tag,
Ramsey.
and it was a beautiful bunt down the first base line. He misses with the tag, and now bases are loaded for the Charleston Crush here in the bottom of the second inning. And that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Isaiah Ramsey. So bases are loaded with one out here in the bottom of the second inning as Ramsey steps up to the plate. That's high, ball one. The 1-0 pitch. That's a ground ball up the middle. That gets through for a single, fielded cleanly by the left fielder, which will only allow one run to score. So the Crush put another run on the board. Bases are still loaded with one out.
Now batting.
On another hit.
Trace Atkins.
By Isaiah Ramsey, who is now 2 for 2 for the day. That brings up Trace Atkins, who singled his first bat up. Bases are still loaded with one out. Here's the pitch. That's low in the dirt, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes here in the bottom of the second as the Charleston Crush puts another run on the board to take a 4-0 lead. Here's the pitch. That's chopped foul, how to play, making it 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Here comes the pitch from Cart to Atkins. Outside. Here's a throw at first. He's safe. And your count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. With bases loaded. Here's the pitch from Cart to Atkins. That's low in the dirt, nice block by the catcher. But makes it 3-1. The Wild are in danger of walking a run in here with bases loaded. As Cart settles in. Atkins settles into the batter's box. Here comes the pitch. And he hits a line drive up the middle. That's a base hit out into center field. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. There is a play at third. He is going to be out at third. So altogether we get 2 outs now. But 2 runs score on the hit by Atkins. There's a runner at first. As he tried to extend the play to third. And on the good throw, they get the second out, but the damage is done with 2 runs added to the scoreboard here in the inning. 3 total. It's a 6-0 ball game here in the bottom of the second inning. As we get a mound visit, we're going to take a moment here to pause, and we'll be right back. The West Virginia Wild are making a pitching change here. Number 13, Corey Sweeney, is coming in to pitch, and as soon as he gets warmed up and we get the music to stop, I'll be back live. Thank you. right, Eli Brogan is coming up for the Crush, who had 2 RBIs the last inning. And in the pitch now for the West Virginia Wild is number 13, Corey Sweeney.
And now batting number 6, Eli Brogan.
It is getting a little cloudy. I'm hoping the rain does not come in. We'll have to delay it a little bit if it does. I haven't seen the radar yet. But right now we got no balls, no strikes. There's the first pitch, and that hits the inside corner for strike 1. So it's 0-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Charleston Crush is able to put, and we're hoping rain will not hit about 7:30 or 7:45. There's a chop play to third. That is rolled foul. So no balls, 2 strikes on Brogan, as Corey Sweeney is in the pitch for the West Virginia Wild. So I'm going to check the radar real quick because it's starting to get a little dark in the clouds. Wasn't supposed to rain today. Yeah, we need to get this game in because about 8 o'clock, 8:30, it's going to hit hard probably. But we will stay here till we get this done. Yeah, it gets by pretty quick. We'll be fine. All right, the 1-2 pitch, I apologize, with 2 outs. And a runner at first base for the Charleston Crush. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Charleston Crush is able to put 3 more runs on the board here in the bottom of the second, making it 6-0. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That gets away from the catcher, and the runner will advance to second. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the hitter Brogan with a runner at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Sweeney. That's in the dirt by the catcher again, and the runner will advance to third. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Score 6-0 Charleston Crush, as Atkins now is on third base with 2 outs. And here comes the full count pitch to Brogan. That's right down the pipe for strike 3. That's going to end the second inning. We have 2 innings in the books here at Appalachian Power Park. We are going to the 3rd inning. The Charleston Crush on top, 6-0. We'll be right back as soon as we begin. All right, we're ready to begin the third inning of play here at Appalachian Power Park. Here's the pitch from Atkins as he's facing Ethan Riggs during the third inning. Six-0 ball game here in the top of the third as we're trying to get this game in, hopefully, before the storm hits here in a little bit. As your count now is 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike here to begin the third inning. Here's the pitch from Atkins. Ground ball toward first. Cleaned. Got it fielded. Threw it over to Atkins for the out. So we got 1 out in the books here in the third inning.
Now batting, third
on the
baseman.
Ground ball to the first baseman.
0-0, Evan Bell.
Number 19, Noah Boggs. And that's going to bring up Evan Bell for the Charleston Crush. Here comes a pitch from Atkins. That's right down the pipe, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the third, Charleston Crush on top, 6-0. That's called strike. So 0-2 on Evan Bell. So no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch from Atkins. That's right down the pipe, strike 3. So 2 outs now here in the top of the third inning. As Atkins strikes out Evan Bell. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter for the West Virginia Wild, Jordan Mosley.
Now batting, left fielder, second baseman number 22, Jordan Mosley.
As he's playing second base tonight for the Wild. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, making it 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here at the top of the third. Here comes the 0-1 from Atkins. That's a ground ball chopper toward third. Ruled foul, making it 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. As we've got a really nasty cloud. I don't know if you can see this. Got a little nasty cloud blooming over us here. Hopefully it doesn't affect the game any. Put us into a delay. All right, the 0-2 pitch from Atkins. That's a line drive rip up the middle. That's going to, oh, nice play by the shortstop. And gets him. What a play by the shortstop, number 11, Hagen Summers. I hope I got that on camera. That was a beautiful play by Summers. I love seeing good baseball plays. Just, I think any team does, any baseball fan does. But we have 2.5 now in the books. We're getting ready to head down to the bottom of the third inning. As your score here at Appalachian Power Park is the Charleston Crush 6, the West Virginia Wild nothing. And we'll be right back here in a few minutes as soon as we get the music muted, and I'll be right back. Thank you. And we are back to begin the bottom of the third inning. Isaac Hamrick coming up for the Charleston Crush. As he swings and misses, making it strike one. So Corey Sweeney still on the mound for the West Virginia Wild. Isaac Hamrick up to bat for the Charleston Crush in what is a 6-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third. Pretty nasty cloud above our heads. Hopefully nothing comes out of it. That would delay the game. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Hamrick. Here's the pitch. That's high, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the 2-1 as he swings and misses on a very nice pitch by Sweeney. As the wind begins to pick up here a little bit. Here's the 2-2. That's in the dirt, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on Hamrick. Corey Sweeney on the mound for the West Virginia Wild. On what started out as a beautiful evening here at Appalachian Power Park, but all of a sudden it's gotten pretty gray in the clouds. Hopefully we get this blowed by us. Not looking too bad. They're right behind the clouds. So if we get this one big nasty cloud away from us, we'll be fine. The full count pitch. Called strike 3. On a nice pitch by Corey Sweeney.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 19, Noah Boggs.
But that's going to bring up Noah Boggs for the Charleston Crush. Excuse me. Here's the pitch from Sweeney. Low in the dirt, making it 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. The pitch, that's a fly ball towards center, and that will be caught for the 2nd out here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting, number 8, Joe Lively.
And that's going to bring up number 8, Joe Lively, the extended hitter for the Charleston Crush. Here comes a pitch from Sweeney. Gets away from the catcher, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes on Noah Boggs. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fouled back, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third, the Charleston Crush has a 6-0 lead in the state championship game. That's low, making it 2-1. We'll have to mute here for 1 second. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's a little over his head, making it 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. There's me and I'm about to talk to the GM here for a minute. We're just going to talk about the weather and see what it's looking like. I'll be right back. And he walks it. All right, we're in between innings here. I'm sorry. We're trying to figure out what the weather's going to do and making a decision on what we're going to do as far as everything. There is a storm coming in here. It's going to have some light rain. 8 o'clock is going to be pretty nasty. The wind is really picking up here at the park. We've got, as we're heading to the top of the 4th inning, we're trying to get this 4th inning in. 4 innings in the books will count as a game. So if we get 4 and we're not able to continue, which is looking like at about 8 o'clock, this game will not go past 8 o'clock tonight. As a heavy thunderstorm is coming in, so we are speeding in and out, trying to get this game in as quick as we can. As I've got Aaron down there, he's telling everybody to speed it up, and we're informing them that if we get 4 innings in here, it's in the books. Sorry about that, guys. There was a fly ball right there by Garrett Comer. It's one out.
Number 32, Hayden Madison.
So 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. As the wind is really picking up here at the park. Balls in the dirt, making it 1-0. As Atkins is still on the mound for the Charleston Crush. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here in the top of the 4th. Charleston Crush on top 6-0. That's a strike. 1-1. Sorry about that, guys. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As we're trying to tell these teams to get in and out as quick as they can, so they can get as many innings in as they can. All right, 3-1 now. Here's your count. As he walks him. So the West Virginia Wild gets a run at first here with no outs. The leadoff run, excuse me, 1 out.
Number 13, Corey Sweeney.
This is the craziest weather. It's really cloudy back in there. And we got a beautiful, look at this. You can see the sun shining through this little storm cloud right here. As a few drops of rain begin to fall. And we're trying to get this game in as quick as we can. 1-0 count. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. On the batter, Corey Sweeney. Wind picks up every now and then. I got to hold the tripod down. So 2-0. As Atkins is starting to see. That's low. 3-0. So Atkins now has walked the first run. And as Sweeney comes up, he's on a 3-0 count with 1 out. The 3-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, runner at first in the top of the 4th inning. The Charleston Crush are on top 6-0. The 3-1. Misses low, walks him. So Atkins walks the first 2 to begin the top of the 4th.
34, Kevin Curry.
And that's going to bring up Kevin Curry, who made a play in the Mountain State game earlier today. that probably saved that game, as he made a diving catch that definitely would have allowed runs to score. He made a really good play that helped them move on. As we get a mound visit, we're going to have some music play. Your score is 6-0. And they play I Can't Stand the Rain. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're ready to start here. Trace Atkins on the mound for the Charleston Crush. Runners at first and second. The Wild does have a runner in scoring position at second, as he looks at ball one. So 1-0 now on Kevin Curry for the West Virginia Wild. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Atkins. That misses outside, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second for the West Virginia Wild. Here's the 2-0. That's low, 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes, as the first 2 batters were walked. Now the third batter in the row is looking at 3-0. Here comes the 3-0 count. As that hits for 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Charleston Crush up 6-0, but the West Virginia Wild are beginning to make a threat here with 1 out in the top of the 4th, with runners at first and second. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, as the door opens up in the outfield. So they delay play just for a second. As the wind blew the door open out there. Nice aerial view of an airplane going through. Here in Charleston, West Virginia, Appalachian Power Park. As the wind begins to pick up a little bit again. All right, we're ready to begin play here again. To resume play, I apologize. We've got 3 balls, 1 strike on Curry. 3 balls, 1 strike on Curry with 1 out. There's the 3-1 pitch from Atkins. That misses badly, as right now the bases are loaded here in the top of the 4th for the West Virginia Wild with only 1 out. That's going to bring up Jeffrey Jaszewski playing center field. And he's got an opportunity to maybe get some runs for the Wild here with bases loaded and 1 out. And there's the pitch and a swing and a miss. Strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. We're going to zoom out a little bit with bases loaded. That ball is low, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Jaszewski, with bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. That's low, gets behind the catcher's head. There is a run scoring, and the runners will advance to second and third. So the Wild is on the board, 6-1. We've got 2 balls, 1 strike now, with 1 out. And runners at second and third. As the Wild is able to get on the board, as the ball looked like it hit the front of the plate and bounced over the catcher's head. As he throws that one right down the pipe. Excuse me, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And he swings. As will be out number 2 in the inning. That's going to bring up
the catcher, number 2, Braden Gall.
The catcher, number 2, Braden Gall. Coming up, Trace Atkins is still on the mound for the Crush. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. A little bit outside, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. As that one's high and outside, making it 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes on Gall. Here comes a pitch from Atkins. That's right down the pipe. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. That's low. 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. On Gall, and that misses outside as the bases get loaded again for the West Virginia Wild. With 2
Now
outs.
batting the left fielder, number 7, Ethan Riggs.
That's going to bring up Ethan Riggs with bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. As Riggs steps up to the plate, here's the pitch from Atkins, and he hits a ground ball right up the middle. That's a single. Fielded cleanly by the left fielder, or right fielder, excuse me. And 2 runs will score. Sorry for that camera work. I know I'm horrible. But 2 runs score for the West Virginia Wild, making it 6-3. And you now have runners.
0-0, Evan Bell.
At first and second. That brings up Evan Bell for the West Virginia Wild. So a 2-out single puts 2 runs on the board, and that's going to be the game for Trace Atkins as they're going to make a pitching change. Your score now 6-3 here in the top of the 4th inning. All right, as they do a pitching change, as Ryan Beasley comes in for the Charleston Crush. We're going to take a break. I'm going to try to get a weather update, and we'll be right back here in a minute. Nice ball game going on here, 6-3. All right, we're ready to begin play again here, or resume play again. Ryan Beasley on the mound now for the Charleston Crush, and that's going to bring up Evan Bell for the the West Virginia Wild. With runners at second and third, he swings at the first pitch. He's got no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Beasley, making it 1-1. All right, sorry about that. We got 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on Bell as Beasley is on the mound for the Crush. Has a breaking ball outside, doesn't hit. Now it's 3-1. Runners at first and second. That's right down the pipe. No, it misses outside. I'm wrong. I'm not behind the plate. So the bases are loaded again.
Top of the order, second baseman, number 22.
For the West
George
Virginia
Mosley.
Wild. here with 2 outs in a 6-3 ball game. And that's going to bring up Jordan Mosley for the West Virginia Wild. As he looks at ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1. It's been a very entertaining part of the top of the 4th. The Charleston Crush were up 6-0. As Beasley throws it down and misses low, 2-1. But the Wild are able to make a little run here in the top of the 3rd to make it 6-3. And the inning's not over yet as he fouls one back, making it 2-2. As bases are loaded for the West Virginia Wild. As the Charleston Crush is trying to get out of the top of the 4th here with 2 outs on the board. As Mosley is looking at a 2-2 count. That hits. So that ends the top part of the 4th. But the Wild are trying to come back as they put 3 on the board here in the top of the 4th. We're going to the bottom of the 4th with your score. The Charleston Crush 6, the West Virginia Wild 3. All right, we are back. We're going to start the bottom of the 4th inning here with Eli Stowers coming up for the Charleston Crush in what is a 6-3 ball game. This game is official now, so if there is a rain delay or we cannot continue, the game is officially in the books. As we got to 1-1 count here on Stowers here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Charleston Crush started out with a 6-0 lead, but the West Virginia Wild was able to come back and cut that lead in half, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 4th to make it 6-3. As he strikes out Stowers for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting the catcher, number 4.
On the mound
Drew
for the West
McLeod.
Virginia Wild is now number 7, Ethan Riggs. And that brings in Drew McLeod for the Charleston Crush, as that's in the dirt, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the pitch, and it swings and misses, making it 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on McLeod as Riggs pitching for the West Virginia Wild. So there's the 1-1. He fouls that back, making it 1-2. So we've got a helicopter coming in. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Drew McLeod. Here's the pitch from Riggs. As Riggs fell in the dirt, which probably altered his pitch to make it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on McLeod. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt, 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. On the catcher, Drew McLeod for the Charleston Crush. Here comes the full count pitch. And that's in the dirt, walks him. So McLeod is able to get on with the walk. And with no outs, excuse me, with 1 out,
The third baseman,
the Charleston Crush has a runner at
Austin
first.
Atkins.
And they'll bring in the last out for a courtesy run for
Fifth
the
running at
catcher.
first base, number 10.
And that's going to bring up Austin
Eli
Atkins
Sowers.
for the Charleston Crush. As Atkins steps in, Riggs is ready to deliver the pitch. And he swings and misses, makes it 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 6-3 ball game. The Charleston Crush is on top as he swings and misses, making it 0-2. So far, the weather is cooperating with us. And that gets away from him a little bit, making it 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. With 1 out, as you can see the camera shake a little bit, the wind's picking up a little bit. But everything seems to be okay right now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's a little high, 2-2. As Riggs on the mound, looks like he's bringing some velocity with him. On the 2-2 pitch from Riggs. That's in the dirt, 3-2. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch with the runner at first. He swings and misses. Strike 3. So 2 outs now. Here in the bottom of the 4th on a fastball by
Now batting, number
Ethan
12,
Riggs.
Ryan Beasley.
He's definitely got some velocity. Good looking pitcher here for the West Virginia Wild. And that brings in Ryan Beasley for the Charleston Crush. First pitch comes in, swing and a miss, strike 1. Excuse me, it's 1-1. I was adjusting the camera, must have missed the first pitch. I apologize. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. That's in the dirt, 2-1. If the scoreboard's right. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Charleston Crush has a runner at first base with Ryan Beasley in the batter's box. Ethan Riggs is on the mound for the West Virginia Wild. Here comes the 2-1. There's a fly ball foul, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. A runner at first base in a 6-3 ball game. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses. And we got 4 innings in the books. We are headed to the 5th inning. With your score, the Charleston Crush 6, the West Virginia Wild 3. We'll be right back. All right, we're back as Beasley throws the first pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Excuse me. We are in the top of the 5th inning. And up for the West Virginia Wild is number 14, Garrett Comer. He goes to strike 1. 1-1. Ryan Beasley on the mound for the Crush. As he hits the outside corner, making it 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Adjust the camera just a little bit. And there's a chop ball toward second base and in time for the out. To put 1 out on the board.
Now batting the first baseman, number 32, Hayden Madison.
I apologize for the camera work. Trying to do the best I can. But either way, we got 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And that's going to bring up Hayden Madison. As that is low for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's right down the pipe, but misses outside. Like I said, I'm not behind the plate. I don't have that good of a view of it. 2 balls, no strikes. That's Madison. Had a first inning single. He's looking at 3-0 count right now, so 3 balls. No strikes. Here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's a 3-0 pitch. That misses outside, so he walks him. So with 1 out, the West Virginia Wild gets a runner at first.
Now batting the left fielder, number 13.
As we get the runner, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Kind of be able to give you a look here at some of the action that goes on if there's a ground ball or whatever. Here's the pitch. That misses, making it 1-0. As rain begins to sprinkle right now here at the park. So 1 ball, no strikes. on Corey Sweeney. He swings and misses, 1-1.
Corey Sweeney.
So Corey Sweeney is at bat for the West Virginia Wild with a runner at first and 1 out. Here comes a 1-1 pitch from Beasley. That's outside, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Beasley. As the curveball misses, making it 3-1 on Sweeney. As Corey Sweeney now looking at a 3-1 count with a runner at first and 1 out. Beasley's going to bring the 3-1 pitch. And there's a ground ball up the middle, fielded cleanly by the third baseman, but a good jump by Madison makes him safe.
Now batting,
and with 1 out,
Kevin Curry.
Kevin Curry is the tying run at the plate. With 1 out, runners at first and second. Kevin Curry comes up for the West Virginia Wild. Here's the pitch. That's low. 1-0. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. That's inside, 2-0. So the Wild is threatening again here in the top of the 5th inning with runners at first and second with 1 out. And that ball's outside. It's 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball. And the shortstop Brogan gets the out as the runners stay put. So now there's 2 outs on the board.
Now batting, number 3, Jeffrey Jazuski.
And that brings up Jeffrey Jazuski for the West Virginia Wild. With 2 outs and runners at first and second. Crush on top, 6-3. As that ball's in there for a strike, 0-1. Beasley steps off the mound, making sure he wants what he wants to throw here. Game started out 6-0, but the West Virginia Wild has come back to cut that lead in half in the 4th inning to 6-3, and are threatening here with 2 outs with runners at first and second. And what is a 1-1 count on Jazuski with 2 outs? Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball just misses, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Crush on top, 6-3 here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch. He swings, misses, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball high, 3-2. We got 2 outs on a 3-2 count. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. As he attempts to do a pickoff at second, but it was nowhere near close. Runner made a fake move like he's going to third. Beasley trying to make a play, but he did make it back in time. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That is popped up as the catcher, McLeod, able to make the catch. That's one of the hardest catches in baseball to make. As McLeod gets up underneath it and stops the threat for the West Virginia Wild. As we're going to the bottom of the fifth, the Wild had runners at first and second with 1 out and a 3-0 count on the batter, but not able to get any runs this inning. We're going to the bottom of the fifth here in the championship game at Appalachian Power Park. Charleston Crush on top right now, 6-3. We'll be right back. All right, we're going to begin the bottom of the fifth inning. Isaiah Ramsey coming up to bat for the Charleston Crush as he looks at the first pitch from Riggs, which is a strike, making it 0-1. Fouled back, making it 0-2. The latest weather report is looking good. They said the storm is breaking up a little bit, so we should be able to finish this game, which is good news. It was looking scary there for a few minutes, but good weather report just reported back to me in between innings, as that's a little bit outside, making it 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he swings and misses. And on the strikeout, 1 out is on the board here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Now batting number 1, Trace Atkins.
And that's going to bring up Trace Atkins. So Ethan Riggs on the mound for the West Virginia Wild. Here's the pitch. And to be honest with you, Riggs has looked really well over these last couple innings as he just throws another strike, making it 0-1. There's a ground ball right toward the first baseman. He gets the fielding. He gets to field it. Step on the bag for the second out.
Now batting number 6, Eli Brogan.
Let's go bring up Eli Brogan for the Charleston Crush. As Ethan Riggs of the West Virginia Wild has looked really good on the mound. That's high, ball 1. So we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The Crush was able to put 3 on the board in the first and second innings. There were no runs in the third inning. The West Virginia Wild was able to cut that lead in half in the fourth inning to make it 6-3. Threatened in the top of the fifth. And here we are in the bottom of the fifth on a 2-0 count. If that's low, making it 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's inside, and we're walking. So a 2-out walk.
Now batting number 14.
Puts Eli Brogan
Isaac
on first
Hamrick.
base. And that's going to bring up Isaac Hamrick for the Charleston Crush. As Riggs is settling in, try to get this final out to end the fifth inning. There's the pitch. Nice pitch. No balls, 1 strike. 1-0 on the board, but I saw the umpire say strike. Here's the pitch. That's low, 1-1. I could be wrong. I'll see if I can see the umpire's hands. I think he said 1-1. There's the pitch. It's high. What could be 2-1. Yes, it is 2-1. As they fix it. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That's high, 3-1. So Charleston Crush has got a runner at first base. As Hamrick is looking at a 3-1 pitch, 2 outs, and Ethan Riggs is on the mound for the West Virginia Wild. Little sprinkle coming. There's a liner straight back to the pitcher as he gets the catch. And we got 5 innings in the book here at Appalachian Power Park, the first ever Carter Tournament's state championship game. We are going to the top of the 6th. Your score, the Charleston Crush 6, the West Virginia Wild 3. We'll be right back. All right, we're ready to begin the 6th inning. Braden Gall coming in for the West Virginia Wild as he tries to lay down a bunt, making it 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Beasley. Breaking ball misses a little high, making it 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That was a little high, 2-1. Got a little sprinkle going on here at the park, nothing major. That's outside, 3-1. Here comes a 3-1 pitch as we're in the top of the 6th as the sprinkle begins to pick up a little bit harder now. That is a pop-up called by the shortstop, I believe, Atkins, and caught.
Now batting, number 7, Ethan Riggs,
for the first out. So up to bat for the Wild now is Ethan Riggs. Try to fix the camera a little bit here. As the sprinkle becomes a little bit harder now. Here's the pitch to Riggs. And that hits him. So Riggs will be put on as the Wild get with 1 out on the board, a runner at first.
now batting, 0-0, Evan Bell.
That brings up Evan Bell for the West Virginia Wild with a runner at first and 1 out. As we'll stay zoomed out a little bit as Beasley is on the mound for the Charleston Crush. Riggs is at first for the Wild as that pitch is inside, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes on Evan Bell. There's a swing and miss, making it 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner at first. Evan Bell up to bat for the West Virginia Wild as they try to cut into this 6-3 lead by the Charleston Crush. They do have a runner on. They have him at first. And here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that's called strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Beasley. Breaking ball misses, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th inning. As that hits the inside corner for strike 3. And now there are 2 outs on the board here at the top of the 6th. And that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter,
Now batting,
Jordan
number 22, Jordan Mosley.
As Mosley settles in with 2 outs and a runner on. Here's the pitch. There's a rip towards center. And what a catch by the center fielder. I believe that is Isaiah Ramsey on what was a very nice catch to end the top of the 6th inning. As we are going to the bottom of the 6th. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Charleston Crush on top, 6-3 over the West Virginia Wild. We'll be right back in a few minutes. All right, we're ready to begin the bottom of the 6th inning as Noah Boggs comes up for the Charleston Crush. As Riggs is still on the mound and he throws a strike right down the middle to make it 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes. I'll tell you what, that was a nice pitch right at the knees as Riggs is humming it right now. So 1 out on the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now batting, number 8, Joe Lively.
The Charleston Crush able to score 3 runs in the 1st and 2nd, 3 runs in the 4th for the Wild. That's been your scoring for the ball game. 9 hits on the board for the Crush, 2 hits on the board for the Wild, and no errors on the board for either team. I think that's going to bring up number 11, Hagen Summers. I could be wrong. It might be. There's a throw strike to make it. Sorry about that. It's 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Riggs. Breaking ball does hit, making it 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. It's going to be a drop strike 3 play. And he'll be out. So 2 outs on the board now for the Charleston Crush. As that was actually Joe Lyman.
Number 11,
And
Hagen
now
Summers.
up for the Charleston Crush is number 11, Hagen Summers. With 2 outs on the board. Charleston Crush up 6-3. Here's the pitch from Riggs. Outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. 1-2. As Ethan Riggs has come in, and he's thrown the ball pretty well. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Riggs. And he swings and misses. And we got 6 innings in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Top of the 7th is coming up. The Charleston Crush going to the top of the 7th with a 6-3 lead over the West Virginia Wild. The Wild has a chance here to either tie or take a lead. We'll be right back. All right, here we are. We are in the top of the 7th inning. This is it. The West Virginia Wild will have to try to tie this game up to continue it. Charleston Crush on top 6-3. And coming up for the West Virginia Wild is Garrett Comer. Here's the pitch from Beasley as the breaking ball hits for a strike, making it 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Beasley. Fouled back out of play, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch was a swing. I guess he calls it foul. Must have hit the ball there, still making it 0-2 on Comer. As the West Virginia Wild is trying to get a rally started here in the top of the 7th. Only 3 innings had scores in it. The first and second belong to the Crush, and that's outside, 1-2. As the Crush scored 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second. No score in the third. The Wild come back, cut the lead in half, scoring 3 runs in the 4th inning, as that ball's outside 2-2. And there's been no score the last 2 innings. So here we are on the top of the 7th with the score 6-3. Charleston Crush on top. There's a breaking ball, chopper towards short, and he throws it over. Scoop cannot happen. So the runner is on. Guys, I'm sorry about my camera. I'm not the greatest camera guy in the world. We'll zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on here. So no outs now. The West Virginia Wild has Garrett Comer on, and that brings up Hayden Madison for the Wild, as he looks at ball 1, so it's 1-0. So the West Virginia Wild trying to let this game continue on, as they need to get 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. And they've got a runner on at first. And what they rule is an error on the shortstop. That's high, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. As you can hear the dugout getting up for the West Virginia Wild, as we're in the top of the 7th. They feel a little bit of momentum coming, as there's a high fly ball towards center, and he catches it. The runner returns back to first base, and 1 out is on the board.
Now batting.
That's going to bring up number 13, Corey Sweeney. So Corey Sweeney comes up for the West Virginia Wild with 1 out and a runner at first, and that ball's low, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here at the top of the 7th. Crush trying to end this ball game. Wild trying to tie it up. That's inside 2-0, or take the lead. 6-3 ball game. The 2-0 pitch now becomes 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Try to zoom in a little bit. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Beasley. Swing and misses, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Runner at first. Up to bat for the West Virginia Wild is Corey Sweeney, as that ball's in the dirt, making it a full count. All right, here we go. Full count pitch from Beasley. Runner goes. That's high outside. And now the tying run comes to the plate for the West Virginia Wild with 1 out.
Kevin Curry.
Kevin Curry coming up to bat for the West Virginia Wild. And I'm going to kind of stay zoomed out a little bit. See what the field looks like. Yeah, we can turn the field and kind of see what happens there. As that ball misses for ball 1. So the West Virginia Wild's got runners at first and second. Kevin Curry at the plate for the Wild. Here's the pitch from Beasley. That hits on the inside corner, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Beasley to Curry. And he hits it toward right field. It's caught. They had a chance for a double play at second, but the ball is overthrown the shortstop's head. So there's 2 outs now.
Now batting, number 3, Jeffrey Jazuski.
And your runners are still at first and second, as Jazuski comes up for the last chance here. He needs to keep this game going for the Wild, as the ball was caught in the outfield and had a chance to end the game with the double play at 2. Just got a little high on it. And he swings at strike 1. So 2 outs now. Top of the 7th inning. Jaszewski at the plate for the Wild. Looks at high pitch there for 1-1 count. Here with 2 outs. We'll end the broadcast pretty quick. And there goes the runner to third. He's out. That's your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Your first ever Carter Tournament state champion is the Charleston Crush. I want to thank you guys for watching. I got to go give out trophies, rings, plaques, all that good stuff. I want to thank you guys for joining into this tournament. If you played in this tournament, if you come to watch this tournament, I want to thank you. I appreciate you coming and be a part of the Carter tournaments. I want to congratulate all the teams here that played. Congratulations to the Charleston Crush. They are your 2021 Carter Tournament state champions with a victory 6-3.